today. Welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. My name is Aman. I'm an investment coach at Sage Investors. And today I thought I want to talk a little bit about experts. It seems like our society has really become a society of experts. You can't go like one direction without finding somebody who's just on top of any particular topic. If you're looking for somebody who's an expert right now in cauliflower, with all the cauliflower mayhem going on, I'm sure you can pull one up out of a hat from somewhere. A lot of this is due obviously to our 24/7 news cycle and just a certain desire for media to fill empty space, and it's a big issue. And now, and especially when it comes into the investing side of things, as now we have a proliferation of business media out there that are running 24/7. We lean on people coming on to these networks or these mediums and putting out their stock picks and prognostications of what the future is going to hold. And it's a natural tendency. We as human beings want to have some sort of certainty in a certain world. And the reason why I want to bring this up is it is a classic behavior that kind of bogs us down when we make investment decisions. It's something that I work with people and trying to understand how to interpret media, messaging that comes out there. And the only reason I bring it up is because last week I read this, not this article, but it was actually a series of tweets by a financial planner. You've probably heard of him, Carl Richards. He's an author of the Behavior Gap, and he put out a whole bunch of tweets, which kind of, if you put them all together, is just like one big kind of like article. And it talks very much about the whole concept of experts and how as a society we're so dependent upon them, especially in the context for making investment decisions. So I wanted to share you, kind of pull all the tweets together and share them, what he wrote, because I thought it was really spot on. And probably provide a few little insights myself into the whole concept. So I'm just going to read this. As humans, we really want someone to tell us what is going to happen in the future. For example, where will the buffalo be next year? Where will the harvest work out? Should I plant corn or beans? Are the great rains going to come? Please, oh wise one, tell me. Now let's fast forward to the current version of crops and harvest, aka the market, and we still look for the wise one, the guru who will tell us what will come. We will look for the village elder who can take the uncertainty out of the scary future. We will look for someone in the tribe trusts to tell us. We will look for someone smart, someone that went to the best school, someone had the biggest computer, research staff, and global locations. We will look to people pretending to be all that on TV, wearing the right costumes, pretending to know what will happen. We will look to the people who have the title of chief economist or chief investment officer, and oh yeah, that big office, marble, big conference room, and we say to all of them, please tell us what will happen. They look down at us and say, oh my young ones, let me tell you what I see. Then they pretend to know what will happen, not only next year, but after lunch today as well. We all then will run out as if we found the secret to endless youth and spread the word abroad. The guru has spoken. Then we will look and realize that the last time we listened to the guru, he was wrong, or she was wrong. In fact, as we look into it, we see that the guru has been wrong as often as it has been right. And with sadness, we realize that just like a broken clock, the guru is nothing more than a guesser. Yes, the guru is nothing more than a guesser pretending to be a forecaster. Then we realize it's all a hoax. And then we realize that if we just ignore it, life is actually much better. We can go back to our families, our work, our art, and leave all our investments alone. Ah, the peace of ignoring the guesser with no clothing. I thought this was spot on, and it totally captures and crystallizes really the dependency that we tend to have, and the full faith that we have in a lot of these so-called experts. And when it gets down to the whole concept of predicting the future and forecasting the future, that's where this whole thing just kind of falls apart. Now, I don't want to say like you go out and bash a whole bunch of bash experts. There's a lot of smart people who know their thing and know their side of the corner of the world better than anybody else. And it's important that from an investing point of view, when we're consuming information, that we're listening to those perspectives. But where it crosses that line into really things becoming a bit dubious is when we start getting into this prognostication, the punditry, the what will happen in the future, as Mr. Richards here articulated. When we get into that punditry side of it, then everything kind of goes off the beaten tracks, and things start from an investing perspective. When we start buying into a lot of these predictions and future predictions, we're seeing it now. We're starting a new year. We've got a laundry list of people putting out all kinds of information and content out there of what's going to happen in 2016. So, and a lot of it is just turns out, and you just backtrack and look back in the future, back in the past, none of these predictions ever pan out. It's just like information candy, infotainment kind of thing. So what I really want to, what I found really got me excited or interested was the fact that this way Mr. Richards articulated this, and I just want to reiterate the concept that it's one of the big challenges we have, all of us, every one of us, when we consume information, especially investing information, is that we get kind of really attracted to the whole concept of forecasting and predicting what the future is going to be. And it's impossible. You can't do it. It's a fool's game. And anybody who says they know what's going to happen 3 minutes from now, or let alone 3 years from now, with a stock or a bond or a mutual fund or a hedge fund is just lying, or interest rates, you pick it. It's just, it can't be done. And it's a fool's game. And but at the same time, I think what we need to do is also listen to experts in terms of understanding and providing us with context about a specific area. If you see somebody, an analyst talking about the oil and gas industry, we want to listen to basically the context of what the state of the industry is, because they can articulate that very well. It's just when they start saying, well, where are oil prices going to go? Well, then that's a whole different story, and it's really hard to buy into it. But one of the things I try to get people to understand when they're consuming information, this kind of information from experts or analysts, investment analysts, is really I'm always looking out for what they don't like. Because often what they don't like and what they think negative is going to happen in their future often turns out to be the best starting points for due diligence and the best starting point for future investment opportunities. So I'm always, when I'm listening to somebody on CNBC talking, like a hedge fund manager or a portfolio manager talking about certain sectors that they don't like, certain companies that they don't like, those are the companies I'm actually going to start looking at, because I think within some of those companies are probably nuggets of gold or nuggets of future value. And it's as weird as that sounds, it's from my experience, it does make a bit of a difference. And but it's so hard for us to go there because we're just not wired to think that way. And so the beauty of what I do as investment coaches is I kind of unhardwire people and wire people to think in a much more broader context. So I just wanted to share with you it's a constant challenge we have with how we process information from an investment perspective and making an investment decision. So I thought share with you. So that's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, you want me to talk about something specific that you've got out there, then I'm more than happy to speak out to it. You can give me a shout through my website, www.sageinvestors.ca, or you can tweet out to me, DM me on my Twitter handle @sageinvestors, where I pretty much speak out and talk about all the various different market events and things going on in the stock market and the economy, as well as my own personal investing decisions and my personal thought processes with investing decisions that I make in real time. So, hey, look forward to hearing from you guys. So thank you. It's been another edition of Stock Talk, and my name is Aman of Sage Investors, and we'll catch you again.